Okay, some useful minor techniques and your lick of the week. Your premium licks. Let's get started. Hello friends, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons for another lick of the week. In today's lesson, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite minor techniques. We're going to get started learning how to play the natural minor scale in the key of A in its common position. Then I'm going to show you all the chords in the key of A minor, and one of my favorite progressions, the 1-3-4-2 progression. Finally, we'll get to the lick of the week, a very cool, melodic, kind of Spanish style lick that utilizes hybrid picking. I got all the tabs available for you at patreon.com/swiftlessons, where if you support the channel for just $1 a month, you gain access to tons of extra resources. Now, let's get started with your lesson. Okay, getting started with segment 1 of this lesson, the natural minor scale in the key of A minor. Now, the natural minor scale is the scale that your pentatonic scale comes from, so you already know most of it. Basically, a pentatonic scale, or a minor pentatonic, is just a reduced or simplified version of this scale I'm about to show you, the natural minor scale. The other thing that I want you to know about the scale is that it is relative to the C major scale, meaning that it has all the same notes in it. The only difference between the two scales is the note that you call your root. If you're playing over A minor and you're using A as your root, it's going to have a very minory or dark kind of sound. But if you play that same scale over a C major chord, it's going to have a very kind of happy kind of sound to it. Okay, so now let's take a look at this natural minor scale in the common position. Okay, taking a look at the first octave of the natural minor scale. We have 5-7-8 on the low E string, 5-7-8 on the A string, and 5-7 on the D string. Natural minor scale, that's the first octave. All naturals in the key of A minor: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and back to A again. Okay, now let's look at the next octave. On the G string we have 4, 5, 7. On the B string we have 5, 6, 8. And on the high E string we have 5, 7, 8. Put all that together, we have the natural minor scale, key of A minor. Okay, now moving on to segment number 2 of this lesson, the minor 1-3-4-2 progression. This is one of my favorite progressions, but before I show it to you, I'm going to teach you all the chords that are in the key of A minor. Now I want you to know that each note is going to be converted to a chord, a very specific type of chord. And those types of chords can be applied to the natural minor scale in any key. Okay, so the first note of the scale was A. That chord version of that note is going to be A minor. The next note in the scale was B. So that note is going to be converted to B diminished. Okay, use your chord diagrams on the screen, okay, to learn these. The next note in the scale was C, and that is the relative. We're going to just play a simple C major chord. Next we have D, that's going to be D minor. Following that we had E, we'll make that into E minor. Then the F note will become F major. The G note will become G major. And then we'll be back around the octave to A minor. If you put all that together, we have A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G, and A minor. All the ingredients for your next original song. Okay, now let's pick out the first, the third, the fourth, and the second chords from that key to create a progression that's chock full of flavor. That's going to be the A minor. Then we're going to go to C, except we're not going to play a regular C chord. I want this to have a little bit more of a bossa nova or kind of Spanishy kind of vibe to it. So I'm just going to play C6 by putting the C note on the 3rd fret A string in the bass of my A minor chord, C6. Then we'll go to the D minor chord, and then to that second chord of the key, B half diminished. Such a cool sounding chord. A minor, C6, D minor, B half diminished. Okay, so a very cool chord progression. See if you can write an original song using this. It's kind of a songwriting challenge for you. It can be approached with a lot of creativity, a lot of different approaches here. I like to kind of pick through it, kind of sweeping through with my pick, hitting the root, strumming, and then grabbing the B string with the middle finger, the high E string, the B string, the pick back on the G. You do that with each of the chords. You can move it down to the D minor, and it sounds really cool over top of that B half diminished there. Alright, that's the first thing I played in my demonstration. Very cool way of navigating through that 1-3-4-2 progression. Okay, congrats everybody. So far you've learned a powerful new scale, the natural minor scale in its common position. And you've learned how to convert it to chordal form, discovered all the chords that you could use to create your own original song in a minor key. Now you're ready to move on to the lick of the week. Okay, so once again, that lick of the week, I'm going to play it for you at a very slow tempo, then at full speed. Just try to get it in your ear. It's going to sound like this. And at full speed. Just like that. Okay, so we're going to take this 2 measures at a time. The first 2 measures are just going to be back and forth, B string, 5th fret, E note, and the high E string. Okay, it's very important that you master the side-to-side vibrato, or classical vibrato. Okay, kind of pulling on the string. The other thing I like to do is I like to kind of dip the volume and then come back up with a little bit more intensity. Okay, so play around just going back and forth between those notes and adjust the volume. And the intensity of your vibrato. Very cool sound. Okay, so you have the first 2 measures, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, then the next 2 measures are going to sound like this. Okay, so that was 6-0, B string and high E, back to 5-0, then a little sweep pick. We're going to put our ring finger on the 7th fret of the G string and pluck 7-5-0, G string, B string, high E string. Pick, pick, middle finger. Alright. Then 5-0, G string and high E. Next measure we're going 4-0, 2-0, 0-0. Then we're switching strings, 3rd fret of the D string and the open B string. Okay, put all that together again, we have. Okay, so that's a good place to stop and review. I'm going to play those first 4 measures that you have down so far at a slow tempo. Sound like this. Okay, and the next and final two measures will sound like this. Okay, resolving back on A minor. Okay, so those last two measures, we have 2 on the D string, and 0, then 0, 0. Then we're going to go to the A string 4th fret for a very peculiar note. This is actually the major third, which isn't a part of the scale, obviously. Alright, we're going to play 4, 0, 0. 5, 0. And then we're going to slide away from 7 as we hit the 0 on the G string. Then land on the G sharp. That is the 4th fret of the low E string. That'll take some practice. Then you can hit the A string and strum an A minor chord, but I'm putting a B note on the high E string 7th fret. Okay, that A9 chord. Beautiful sound. All right, you put all that together, we have. For your lick of the week. All right, everyone, thanks so much for checking out this minor lick of the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much to my supporters at patreon.com/swifflessons, especially my premium supporters. Hope you're enjoying the extra licks and other resources. I got many more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.